Good morning. Well, the weeks come and go, don't they? Pretty quickly. I have had quite a challenging week this week because the new comment section in Blackboard is now called Box. It replaces Crocodoc, and it worked fine for a number of days, maybe weeks, and then suddenly this week it says, I guess I don't want to do this. And it's been a real pain for ITS to try to get the thing straightened around, and it still is not straightened around, but it sure complicates my grading process because I have to download each of your assignments and go from there. And it is not resolved yet, so you can pray that they get that resolved quickly. I would deeply appreciate that. We have quite a bit to do this week. We have about 15 pages in Crouch, chapter 13. And then we have 3 articles that are quite a few pages, but they're pretty interesting. They have nice charts in them, and so it makes the reading a little faster. And then a video on size matters. And then you have 3 written assignments. One is related to your watching an online church service, and you're to write a 500-word blog about your own reflection, how it impacted you, the strengths and weaknesses that you perceive of being at one of those off-site gatherings, uh, and just the strengths and the weaknesses, but incorporate into that other things that we've been talking about here of the cultural dynamics of congregational ministry and how that would be affected. So that's that one. 5-1 is the online blog. And then 5.2 is really a debate of yourself of whether you think mega churches are good or not. And you ought to have some strengths on both sides of that if you're going to think through this issue appropriately. And then the fabulous demographic studies. You can get the demographics of your community from many resources online. It's not difficult at all. It is not necessary to go through Moody Library to get that. You may, but you don't have to. And then, so you're to have that data specifically, and then you're to make guesses about the same demographic items for your church. And you want to be accurate, but you won't necessarily have an accurate, a precisely accurate evaluation of your church. But it helps you to understand whether or not your church is functioning in the community where it is located, or if it's distinctly different. So there are details that you're to work into that source also. And then, of course, we have our discussion board. So it's a great week. Keep pursuing the Lord. I want my students to excel. I like to excel in my own educational pursuits. But, I've seen too many people who got straight A's in their classwork, but they didn't have a heart for God. They got a diploma, but what was its value? It's much better. Now, this is hard for me to say, but it's much better to get C's and be passionately following Jesus than to get straight A's and be cold-hearted toward the Lord. So as you gather with God's people this weekend, ask Him to speak to you and through you as you worship and fellowship with fellow believers and perhaps someone who does not yet know Jesus. God bless you.